Welcome back to MNUFC TV and on to the finals in Atlanta. The Loons get a nice 2-1 win, and I'm going to get into the instant match reaction. We're going to kind of get into the game a little bit. Started off with both teams having a bit of a spell, and we ended up getting a nice free kick outside the box, and their wall has their hand up, and if we get a penalty, but they stop the ball off a handball, and which is the right call. Obviously, I didn't go back to watch it because it looked clear as day. But my concern with the penalty was why he wasn't the Portland Timbers player was not given a yellow card for a clear and obvious handball. Clear and obvious. Unnatural position. It just ease. The ball is going to be on target or somewhat close, so it needs to be yellow. And it was no card at all. They didn't give no card, and it was just outstanding that it was no card. That's one call, and then they were fouling a lot, very chippy, falling over a lot, and they go right through Mason Toy's back. No call, no nothing, no yellow. All right, maybe a foul call. I can't remember, but anyway, a little bit later on, maybe 5 minutes later, Blanco or someone falls over, fakes a fall off of Greg Goose. It was a foul, but Greg Goose's second foul of the night in the 30th minute, maybe, or it might have been a little bit before the 30th, but um, definitely was not a yellow for Greg Goose. He picks up a yellow after we slot. I forgot to mention we slot home the penalty early with Darwin scoring, and yeah, but Greg Goose shouldn't have picked up the yellow card. It was ridiculous, and then Boxall gets a yellow card off of later in the 37th minute or whatever, and it was ridiculous that at that point in the game that we had two yellow cards and they didn't have a single one. Some foolish calls by the ref, but you can't blame the ref because he was just piss poor on both teams for both nights, or all night, not both nights, but you know what I mean. And anyway, last 10, 15 minutes, or maybe I think 10 minutes, Portland was knocking on the door, and we just couldn't do anything. And a bad step up by Boxall is able to slot Fernandez through on net, and he's just gets a nice composed finish and a assist from Abolisi, who I'm a fan of, but it didn't have his best night tonight. Really didn't. Um, but and we go into halftime at tied 1-1, and that kind of got the wind out the sails a bit and came out the first half, and it was sluggish. It was sluggish. We didn't know what to do for a bit. Molino was giving away bad balls, and everyone was really. And then in the 65th minute around, Molino puts in a ball over the top to Toy, and it looked exactly like the Montreal goal away a couple weeks ago. Just a nice over the top ball, and Mason finishes it, and we go up 2-1 in the 65th minute, and it was feeling good. The house was rocking, and it was deserved. And the second half was pretty composed after that. I mean, they hit the post in the first half off a great save by Vito. Vito had some amazing saves tonight. Cannot not mention that. And then after that goal, we made some subs. They made some subs. Delali came in for Toy, with no Rodriguez on the bench. And their Diego Valeri came in, who didn't start the game. That's one of their DPs, major player in their team. Came in, and at that point it was looking scary, but Hassani was subbed on. He came in and kind of shut that down. He came on for Quintero, so we were kind of deciding to park the bus a little bit with few options moving forward, and we were going to just sit back with Finley coming off and Molino coming off and Finley coming on actually. in the 76th minute for our last sub, and they had 5 minutes of added time at the end, so it was about a 20-minute cameo. And it was nice for them to come on. It looked composed. There was a little scrappy ball at the end that came off the post, and luckily Roman was able to clear it. Otherwise, maybe we'd be still sitting here watching uh, penalties at Allianz. But it's not meant to be, and Vito kicks the last ball, and they blow the whistle, and that's that. It was a good win to go on to the finals. And we go down to Atlanta at the end of the month, I believe Tuesday the 27th. Should be a tough game. I'd really like to beat that Plastic Club in Atlanta, but onwards and upwards, and we're in the final, and maybe we could get some silverware and qualifier for the CONCACAF Champions League next year, which be a little exciting. Not a lot of MLS teams do very well due to it being the beginning of our season, but you never know. It'd be nice to qualify, get some more income, attract some players. We have a huge squad. Might not be as big next year, but right now it's pretty big. So if we do qualify for these competitions, maybe it's nice to keep them with a big enough squad for rotation and such. But that's going to be my instant match reaction. It's nice, short, and sweet, but a really good game. And Lloyd started tonight, and he is a cracking player. But lastly, I just wanted to say at halftime, Minnesota United actually announced a signing of an 18-year-old DP from Uruguay who looks like a really cracking talent. Highly rated in South America. Don't know the exact fee. It's reported to be 2.5, in between 2.5 and 4 million. A lot of people reporting 4, but I just hope the price isn't too high, but it looks really skillful. Supposedly a Darwin replacement, with Darwin having an option at the end of the year with his contract. We'll see what happens, but really fun stuff to see that announced at halftime right before the deadline, and I'm sure everyone's buzzing at the club right now with a huge win. So, as always, come on, you Loons.